Hello, thank you for joining us today. You're watching Bethlehem Live. My name is Angel Starr. I'm here at the Father's House International Headquarter Church in Henderson, Kentucky with Pastor Lisa Borland. And I have here a new friend of mine I just met, a sister in the Lord and a fellow Israel prayer warrior. Her name is Holly Shell, and you spent a lot of time in Bethlehem.
I did.
How much time have you been there numerous times, or?
No, I've only been there twice.
Okay.
Yes. First time I went, the first time I went on a missions trip with a few different groups. There was about 60 of us, and that's when I met Lisa. And then the Lord told me then that you're going to be back here by October. And He ended up sending me back in July.
Okay, was this 2008 or when was this?
That was 2007
okay.
was when we went. And then later that year, I think is what it was, yeah.
And did you, with the first group, was that through Pastor Vance Murphy's church, or how did you connect with that initial group?
They were actually with John Crowder and Georgian Banoff, and yeah, a few different ministries went.
How did you find out about it?
Through John Crowder's ministry.
Okay, which you were connected with.
Yeah.
Okay.
A group of us from Milledgeville. Yeah.
So you went the first time on just a tour trip. Okay, and then
weeks.
God called you back then months later.
Yes.
And what did you do the second time?
Well, I went over there knowing about the Father's House. I have a call to intercession, and that's just something that's on my heart. And I prayed for God's heart, and that's where He ended up leading me, saying, this is where I want you to come back to. So I met Lisa and the crew and found out about the Father's House and about the prayer house and knew that that's where I was supposed to be. So I went back there with that in mind, and I'm going to, work in the prayer room, pray, okay, God, I don't really know. And I got over there and ended up finding out about a teaching job at an American school in Bethlehem. So I ended up teaching 3rd grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where did you live when you were there?
I lived at the Father's House apartments.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a few apartments there and a couple hostels, and so I lived in one of the apartments.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's amazing. What was life like on a normal day? Can you call it normal? Any day normal in Bethlehem?
Well, it becomes normal.
Yeah. Good answer.
Lots of interaction with the people. They're very friendly, just always wanting to talk, always wanting to meet you, always wanting you to have coffee and tea and come in and sit with me and, hang out. And so once I did that more before I started teaching. I actually became really close with a family in the refugee camps. And so I would go over there and meet with them and eat with them and just hang out and spend the night a couple of times, and just they just became really good friends. They're like my family. And then when I started teaching, I basically was at the school all the time and doing stuff at that. And then when groups would come, I would just work with the groups or take them places and show them around and different things. And yeah, lots of
people time,
hanging out, and
coffee time,
walking and eating, and that's it's very laid back though. I really enjoy it.
What was it like teaching the 3rd graders in Bethlehem?
That was a new experience for me.
Did you teach in the States before?
I did not.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I'd worked with kids before then, but I didn't have a degree in teaching, or I'd never been in a teacher position. So that was new for me, and God opened the door. So that's what I ended up doing, and ended up being English teacher.
Okay, so the kids, did they speak English?
Yes, they do. It's actually that's basically what it's for. Like a lot of the Muslims send their kids there because it's a good education.
But it's a Christian school in Bethlehem.
It is. It's supported by a church here in the States.
Okay.
It was started by a pastor. There's one in Jerusalem, the Jerusalem School. And then they have a sister one in Bethlehem. Yeah.
So the Muslims send their kids to the Christian school,
knowing that they teach Bible and that their kids are learning that
to get English, basically,
because it's a good education to learn English. Yeah.
Because I noticed when I was there a couple weeks ago, a lot of the children knew some form of English. Not fluent, of course, but they were definitely being taught that in their schools. Do they not get taught that in the Muslim schools? Do they have a public school system?
They do
as well.
Yeah, they do. It's just not as good of an education.
Okay.
Like they don't really learn as much. I even worked with the kids, the young ones in the refugee camps, and just the curriculum isn't, it's like, I can't even hardly, like, what am I, this is English, like, just trying to learn it. It's like, this isn't correct grammar, I don't understand. But they do have where they go outside of the camp when they're older. They can go to a school in the city that teaches English. Okay. And so they are able to get somewhat of an education, but it's not like a good foundation when they're younger, like it is at this school. And so that's really helpful with the language barriers a lot of times and stuff. That just really helps open up the door to be able to speak to them. And I had a few, I think I was three Muslims in my class, and they're just, I mean, so hungry and like open, and you teach them Bible and they're just like have these questions. A lot of times they know more than the kids who are the Christians, and they're just like, they're really,
these are just third graders. Awesome ministry opportunity for you. Was it hard to leave the kids when you came back to the States?
It was. I thought I was going to be back with them about 2 weeks afterwards. I only thought I was leaving for a short time. So yeah, I definitely miss them, and I'm hoping to work with them some more when I go back, at least volunteer, get to see them and hang out with them. And I also got to teach a 6th grade class for one period, so that's a whole another different atmosphere. And
did you stay in touch with these kids through?
Somewhat on Facebook, if I got their information, I stayed in touch, and I've got to talk to them a little bit, and they're doing good.
But they miss you?
Yeah.
No, you haven't been back for over a year?
I've been here 6 months.
Okay, 6 months since you left.
Yeah.
And then when do you get to go back?
I'm planning to go back at the end of August.
To teach or just for a visit?
Well, I want to focus more on the prayer room and also just outreach, like in the refugee camps, back with the family. Awesome. Spending more time with the people, because with teaching you don't really get to hang out as much. And but then hopefully do some volunteering with the group. I really want to help the kids with the English, so there's not so much of a barrier there.
So you'll be over there for an indefinite amount of time. You don't have a teaching commitment at this time?
No.
Okay.
No, I do not.
Well, that is awesome. I'll be there with you, sounds like, in Israel. So I'm excited to see what God has planned for that trip.
Yes.
And I hope you enjoyed meeting Holly Shell. I know that I have. And I'm excited to see what God has for you in Israel. And as you continue to sow seeds, it's going to be neat to see the fruition in your life of all the good seeds that you're sowing into God's people. Thank you for being with us today. Please tune into Bethlehem Live again, and have a great week.